Quite the inversion. Huge views. And the clouds just settled. Just settled in the valley floor. So we've just stopped in this tiny little vet's. They're so kind. And we've been here once before, about 6 years ago. And Bernie made a note of them on our map so that we knew. We've got lots of notes of vets that we've used over the years. And there's the little vet sign, that's what you need to look out for. But they often have these kind of signs in villages to point you to local businesses, and the vets are normally on those as well. So we're about to board the shuttle. Very straightforward, the whole checking in process. The most important thing to remember if you're travelling with dogs is to check in the dog first. So when you first arrive on whatever side of the channel, you check the dogs in first, and then you go through and do the rest of your own checking in process. So when we first came in, we went to the terminal building. Once we checked in the dogs and ourselves, that is, we went to the terminal building, and there's very clear boards that tell you when you're due to be boarding. So you just need to keep an eye on that and then follow that, really. And it's been fairly straightforward. You can see this is the board outside, and this is our, so we've got E3 on ours, so we only have to look at the board, and when E3 flashes up, there it is, and it just tells you when it's time to go. Simple as that.
This is us getting onto the Shuttle. Scary, but very exciting as well.
So one little interesting, we were very concerned about the dogs, because it's always our biggest concern is always making sure the dogs are checked in properly. We don't want to have any problems there. Absolutely straightforward, so straightforward, really nice. And thanks very much to our lovely vet in Devon who helped us out with the animal health certificate at a price of a third of what the normal vets are charging. So our vets were going to charge us £340 for the 2 dogs, and that is actually fairly standard, believe it or not, for the animal health certificate. And this vet did it for 140. So shop around, because at the end of the day, it's only bureaucracy. It's not to do with the health of your dog. So it's not that you need to build up any trust with the vet. You just have to trust that they'll do a good job, and he did a good job. So that was great. But actually the problem came with me. So when we came to coming through customs, on the French border side of it, he was looking at my passport and saying, well, when did you cross? And then we were trying to remember the exact date, because it's been a little while. And I brought up the ticket that we got from P&O as the boarding confirmation, so I could see that it was actually the 4th of September. And he said, look, your passport hasn't been stamped, so there's no date on your passport to say when you came over. In terms of the Schengen agreement, where you can spend no more than 90 days, there's nothing for them to go on. So, I mean, he was really nice about it. And obviously, was it our fault? I've never thought to check. You hand your passport over, they hand it back. But anyway, I'll think in future. So yeah, he said, look, I'm not going to stamp it now because it's not going to show an outward date for you. So I'm not going to make it complicated by showing an inward date for a journey when people are like, well, when is that? So he was very sort of kind about it. But yes, if you're going on any trip in future, in these post-Brexit times, make sure your passport is stamped. I'll remember that.